Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this problem set. So Naomi needs 2 3/4 yards of fabric to make a banner. The fabric store has 6 1/4 yards of fabric that she wants. How much fabric will remain at the store after she buys the fabric? Okay, so I want to take 6 1/4. That's how much is at the store, and I want to subtract off how much she is buying. Easiest thing to do here, you can do this a couple of ways, even with the same denominator. You can turn this all into improper fractions, or what you can do is you can, take your whole numbers and then subtract off your fractions. So here it's going to be a little weird because technically you have 6 1/4 minus 2 3/4, and so you're going to have to this 1/4 is smaller than 3/4. So you can't really subtract that fraction without borrowing 1. So when you borrow 1, technically you reduce this by 1, and then you're adding 4/4 to, which is the same thing as 1, 4/4 to your 1/4. So technically you have 5/4 minus 3/4, which gives me 2/4, and then 5 minus 2, which is 3. So I get 3 1/2. Okay. Or I could have turned them into improper fractions and then subtracted. Okay, so a recipe calls for 2 1/4 cups of flour. How much flour would you need to make a third of the recipe? So I want 2 1/4 divided by 1/3. So I would change this to an improper fraction. So 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1, which is 9/4, divided by 1/3. So then you invert and multiply 3/1. So I get 27/4. Okay. And this would be cups. I forgot to write the word cups there. Okay. That's question 4. The ceiling in a storage unit is 7 2/3 feet high. How many boxes can be stacked in a single stack if each box is 3/4 foot tall? Okay, so 7 2/3 divided by 3/4. Okay, so now I would again turn this into an improper fraction. So 21 is 7 times 3 plus 2 is 23/4 divided by 3/4. So then I get 23/4 times 4/3, which is the 4's cancel out. So I'm left with 23/3 boxes. You can't really have like a third of a box. So what I would say is you could have a total of, what's 23 divided by 3? So you get not 8, 7. So you could have 7 boxes with a little bit of space left over. A truck driver drove 120 miles in 1 3/4 hours. What's the speed in miles per hour? So that's 120 miles per 1 3/4 hours. So then I have 120 divided by 1 times 4 is 4 plus 3, which is 7/4 hours. So 120 times 4/7. So 120 times 4. Again, when you do arithmetic, you can do it off to the side. So that's 0, 8, 4. So 480/7 miles per hour. Okay. Mrs. Hickman has a planter box in her backyard. What is the volume of the planter box? So I am multiplying these. So I'm multiplying 3 2/3 times 4 1/8 times 2 1/2. So what I would do is I would turn these into improper fractions. So this is 9. So this is 11/3 times 33/8, and then times 2, 4, so 5/2. Okay, so I would multiply these improper fractions together. What you're going to notice is that the 3 divides into itself once. The 3 divides into 33 11 times. And then nothing else divides each other. So then essentially what I have is 11 times 5 over 8 times 2. No, I'm not going to let you use a calculator. So 11 times 11, 1, 1, 1, 1. 121. And I'm going to multiply that by 5. So 5, 0, 1, 605. 605 divided by 16. And this is in feet cubed. Okay? All right. Again, we're going to split. 3 people are going to split half of a pizza. So I have half of a pizza. We're going to divide that by 3. That's the same thing as saying 3 over 1. So this is 1/2 times 1/3. So each person gets 1/6 of the pizza. Okay. Oh, I did 12. Sad. Let's do 13 then. I'll do 13. Dr. Torrance and Mr. Bensley are picnicking at Millerton Lake. Mr. Bensley brought a salad he made with 3/4 cup of strawberries, 7/8 cups of peaches, and 1/6 cup of blueberries. They had 11/12 cup of salad. So how many cups are left? So first I need to figure out how many cups he made. So 3/4, 7/8, and 1/6. I'm going to need a common denominator. So remember, we can do 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 4 times 3, 4 times 4, 4 times 5, 4 times 6, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 8 times 1, 8 times 2, 8 times 3, so that's 24. 6 times 1, 6 times 2, 6 times 3, and 6 times 4. I'm stopping at certain points because I know what the common denominator is, but you'd have to write some of them out if you didn't know. 6, 12, like we did in class, 24. So my common denominator is 24. So my 4 needs to be multiplied by 6. So 3 times 6 over 4 times 6. My 8 needs to be multiplied by 3. So then this is 7/8. Multiply both the top and bottom by 3. And then 1/6 needs to be multiplied by 4. So 1 times 4 over 6 times 4. So I get 18 plus 21 plus 4 all over 24. And again, arithmetic, right? Like if you can't add horizontally, then go 18, 21, 9, 39. There's nothing wrong with, needing to do this in order to get the right answer. Okay, so I get 43 over 24. So that is how many total cups of salad. Okay, so now I need to figure out how much is left after they eat 11/12. So I have 43 over 24 minus 11 over 12. So again, common denominator, 24 times 1, 24 times 2. That's 24, 48. 12 times 1 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. So my first fraction doesn't need to be multiplied by anything. My second fraction needs to be multiplied by 2. So 43 over 24 minus 11 times 2 over 12 times 2. So 43 over 24 minus 22 over 24. Again, if you have a hard time, visualizing this horizontally, change it to vertical and do your subtraction, right? It's okay. So I get 21 over 24. Now, what you notice about this, and this is cups left, 21 and 24 are both divisible by 3. So 21 goes into 3 7 times, 3 goes into 24 8 times. So I'm left with 7/8 cups of salad left. Okay. All right. So now let's switch to 2B. It's just some, remembering some things. So again, distributive property, I distribute my -7 to both terms, so -7c minus 14. They're all problem 1, I'm sorry. I'm going to change these, so I'll change them on the grade scope too. So this should be problem 3. Again, distribute my negative, so then I get -20n plus 25. Again, distributive property. This should have been 4. This should have been 5. Combine like terms. So I combine the terms that have v in it. It's like adding the number, like it's like saying I had like 5 apples and 4 oranges, and I add another apple. Well, I don't add the apples to oranges, I add the apples to apples. So I have 4 plus, I add my 2 terms that have v in it, so I get 6v. See, so it's like if I had 4 oranges, let's see. Right? And then I had 5 apples. And I had another apple that I'm adding together. I don't take this apple here and add it to the oranges. That would be dumb. I take my apples together and I add them together. So that's the idea behind like terms. This should have been 6. This should have been 7. So again, I take my terms that have s in it. So -7 minus 7 gives me a -14. And then I have a -5 plus 9. So it's like -5 plus 9, which is a positive 4. This should have been 8. This should have been 9. So I combine my s's together first. So s minus 4s gives me a -3s. So I have 25 is equal to -3s plus 13. I could have done it the other way around. It doesn't make any difference. I could have put the 13 first. I still subtract 13 because the sign, when you do subtraction or addition, the sign is what's right in front of, just to the left of the number. Okay. So I get 12 is equal to -3s, divide by -3, and I get s is equal to -4. Okay, this should have been problem 10. This should have been 11. So I can do one of two things. I can either distribute, right? So if I have 2 options. Option 1, distribute. Option 2, divide by 7. Okay, so option 1 would have given me 7p minus 21 is equal to 35. So add 21, and I would have gotten 56 is equal to 7p. Divide both sides by 7, and I get p is equal to 8. Option 2, by dividing, I had 7p minus 3 is equal to 35. Divide both sides by 7 first, and I get p minus 3 is equal to 5. Add 3 to both sides, and I get p is equal to 8. Either way, p is 8. Okay? This is question 12. This is question 13. You have to get rid of the denominator first. So I need to multiply both sides by 7. So then this is z plus 5 is equal to -21. Subtract 5 by both sides. A -21 minus 5 goes deeper in the hole. So then this is a -26. That question should have been 14. This question should have been 15. So I'm going to subtract 6p from both sides. So I get 1p minus 5 is equal to 8. Add 5 to both sides, and I get p is equal to 13. This should have been 16. This should have been 17. Again, I had 2 options. Option 1, distribute. Option 2, and I don't care which way you do it. Option 2 is to divide by -3. I don't care. Whichever way you feel more comfortable doing it is totally fine. So if I distributed, I would have gotten 63 is equal to -3 plus 6n. Add 3 to both sides, so I get 66 is equal to 6n. Divide by 6, and I get n is 11. If I divide by 3 first, or negative 3 first, I'm sorry, I divide by negative 3, and I get a negative 21 is equal to 1 minus 2n. Subtract 1 from both sides. I get negative 22 is equal to negative 2n. Divide both sides by negative 2. I just want to make sure I was getting the same answer. And I get n is equal to 11. Okay, so, because you should get the same answer regardless of the way that you do it. Okay, so that's 18. Here's 19. I stopped at 19. I feel like I should have done 20 of them, unless I totally miscounted when we were doing this. Okay, so I'm going to need to distribute first. So I get negative 8 minus n is equal to negative 6n plus 12. So add 6n to both sides. So I get negative 8 plus 5n is equal to 12. Oops, add 8 to both sides. So I get 5n is equal to 20. Divide both sides by 5, and I get n is equal to 4. Okay? All right, and that is it for this problem set.